Multiplying radicals. The second thing we learned, not an incredibly difficult topic, but definitely one that requires some practice. So just going to do a simple one that I think covers all the basis of things that we will come across when multiplying radicals. So looking at this problem, 4 times the square root of 2x times negative 7 square root of 18. Okay, you could also see this with parentheses around it, but it doesn't change the value of it. Okay, so it is just this whole term multiplied by this whole term. All right, as well as down here we have one whole term multiplied by one whole term. So when we are multiplying these, we like to say that the numbers on the outside go together while the numbers on the inside will go together. Okay, so in this case, green with green, blue with blue. Okay, so 4 times the negative 7, that would result in negative 28 on the outside, and it is being multiplied, so we want to leave that multiplied by the square root. And then 2x times 18. 2x times 18 would leave me with 36x. Okay. So we've got negative 28 out front. Now we've got to deal with this square root of 36 on the inside. So we want to ask ourselves, do we know the square root of 36? Okay, and right off the bat, some of us should say, yes, we do know the square root of 36 is 6 times 6, which means I would have a pair. Okay, 6 times 6, and then times the x. So the 6's will come out while the x stays in. The next thing we need to focus on, which a lot of times we forget about, is that this negative 28 has to then multiply by this 6 that just came out of there, right? Or the square root of 36, which is 6 that came out of there. Okay, so we have to remember those are multiplied together. And then the square root of x is left over. Alright, so we can just do what the math tells us. Alright, there's nothing here to create or anything like that. It tells us to multiply, so we're not going to make it harder than it is. We're going to do negative 28 times 6. And we're getting a negative 168 times the square root of x. And you can ask yourself, do I know the square root of x? And you say no, and we know that we are finished completely. So let me zoom out on this and we'll take a overall look at it. Remember, outside numbers go with outside numbers, all right? And radicands go with radicands. All right, another word for radicand is just the number under the radical.